All right, welcome back, everybody. This is part two of myself from OBS1 and ObiWein from Porg Depot going over the Hints of Lawlessness article that FFG put out the other day. We're already halfway through the article, so we're just going to be talking about the third and fourth little sections here. If you missed the first part, I'll have a link to that, as well as a link to the Porg Depot website in the video description below, so feel free to check it out. We're just going to keep going along because we're recording this all in one go. So I guess these are just more generic trivia hints, like facts of things that are going to be in the next set. So the first one they have on here, I don't know if it's my first is the same as yours, but my first is a pair of characters that have been much requested on social media finally get their first unit cards. I have a pretty good idea what this is, so I'm curious what you put.
If it is not BT1 and 000, I give up. I mean, Dr. Aphra is a popular character from the comic books. Cool character. She's got these two sadistic droids, and since that character was released as a leader, people have been clamoring for these two droids to show up. It pretty much has to be them. I'll be amazingly shocked if it's not.
I put that too. We've seen the art. I know Aphra. She's been in the game since set 2. So it makes sense that that's something that a pair of characters people could be asking for a long time. So I agree with you. There's 99% chance that's what it is. I have a personal request that a pair of characters that I have been wanting in the game also since set 2. So I'm just going to throw it out here, and a couple of people that I've talked to have already heard me talk about these two characters, but Prince Xizor and Guri from Shadows of the Empire. Are you familiar at all?
Yes. So Prince Xizor, I know. Guri, it's been a long time since I read that.
Yeah, it was his like android assistant girl with the, I think she had like blonde hair or something. I don't know much about her. I just know him.
Okay. Yeah.
But
those would be good.
I would love.
There's probably a bunch of duos from, Legends source material.
Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. I wasn't necessarily dipping there. Sure. It's one of the,
it's BT1 and 000.
The two droids, but there could be a curveball. And I do think, with the fact that we are seeing Legends content at this point, like, I think characters like Prince Xizor, like, eventually they do show up.
We even got, oh God, what was his name? The guy, the 4-cost 4/5 that just came out, that does 2 damage to a base when you claim initiative. Oh, man. What the heck was his name? I'm looking it up. Oh, Zitant Maj or something.
Okay.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because he's the same race, the same species as Xizor. So when they spoiled him, I was like the meme, like, it's happening. Like, right. Here, this guy.
Oh, yeah. No, I can picture it.
Yeah.
So they plays that card.
Last set they spoiled him, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna Prince Xizor is perfect, secrets of power, perfect time for a Black Sun leader." But we didn't. It didn't happen.
I think eventually he's in the game. But yeah, like I said, 99% chance, maybe probably higher that it's BD1 and 000. Yeah.
All right, next up, there is this one we could talk about for a little bit. There is a cycle of 6 common units with 2 non-hero/villain aspects and 2 different keywords, 1 for each aspect. And then they ask, what keywords do you think are paired together on each card? Now, before we start diving into this, I don't know, do you think that it is each aspect color is assigned a keyword, or do you think that it could be pulling from multiple depending on the combination?
So I feel like it could go either way.
Actually, let me ask a different question first. Sorry. Let's just look at it this way. Let's look at the 4 aspect colors, not talking about heroism and villainy. What is the first keyword that you associate with aggression?
Probably raid.
What about command? That's a tougher one, right?
All the janky resource boost crap that I don't
wait,
like
does it
as
say?
an
It
aggro
does
player.
say keywords, so it's specifically keywords. So ramp is not a keyword. It's a
Ramp
mechanic.
is not a keyword. I feel like ramp is a keyword.
So I'll tell you the two that I put.
Is overwhelm green?
So here's
it's not.
Here's where I took most of my time doing prep for this. I went on SWU and I filtered how many cards in each aspect color certain keywords appear on.
All right, you did more work on this one than me.
So for example, you said raid for aggression. There are 32 aggression units with raid.
Okay.
There's 36 with overwhelm.
Huh.
Okay. For command, there's 35 units with overwhelm, but there's also 35 with ambush.
Interesting.
There's just for the sake of completion, there's 29 with sentinel and 23 with restore. Yeah. And I guess just to finish up aggression, I also looked at grit. There's only nine aggression units with grit. I didn't realize grit's more of a vigilance, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, grit.
Anyway,
grit, sentinel.
But see, that's the thing. When you think of vigilance, what's the first keyword you think of?
Sentinel.
Really? Over restore?
Yeah. Well, so I'm typically playing aggro decks. Sentinel's way more annoying.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're right, though.
It would be Sentinel and Restore would be the top two.
You're right, though. So for Vigilance, there's 59 Sentinel units and only 31 Restore.
How many of those are rotating out?
That I did
Hopefully
not look.
A lot.
I'd have to spit
hopefully a lot of them. They're annoying.
27 grit and 22 shielded in Vigilance. So, okay. And then that leaves Cunning, which the Cunning was the hardest for, well, no, I guess Command was the hardest, but what would you say for Cunning?
Doesn't Cunning have a decent amount of ambush?
Ambush is the most common keyword in Cunning. So there's 32 ambush in Cunning. 17 hidden, 15 shielded, and 12 sentinel.
I feel like so hidden is a little loaded because it's newer. That didn't exist.
Correct. Correct.
So the fact that there's 17 only in two sets is a lot.
Yeah. That's exactly where my thoughts were going to.
Yeah.
So now, sorry, finish.
No, it hadn't been around for long. I mean, there would clearly be more hidden things. 17 over two sets is a lot.
So now that brings us back to the question that I asked originally, which is now, so the point is there are going to be 6 common units that have 2 of these aspect colors and a keyword associated with each. Do we think that, like, for the ones that are paired with Vigilance, for example, the 3 Vigilance, do you think they're all going to be Sentinel, or do you think one might be Sentinel, one might be Restore, one might be Grit?
Right. I don't think that they'll be all the same.
Okay, cool.
So you think
the Vigilance aggression might be like Grit Raid, while the Command aggression or Command Vigilance is like Restore Sentinel or something like that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It just, if they said like, hey, every Cunning card in this cycle, the Cunning keyword is ambush. Like, okay, fine. But then it's just on a whole bunch of cards. Like it doesn't, first of all, some of the pairings wouldn't necessarily work well.
Sure. Work well, right.
They wouldn't work well. You know, I think they're going to try and go for playable cards. They also, like, as game designers, like, I would think that they want variety, right? So it's like, you know, to put Sentinel on 3 cards versus, you know, make 1 Sentinel, 1 Restore, 1 Grit, like, okay, right? And then you know, what are the pairings, right? So it's, hey, in that series, there's 3 different, you know, Vigilance cards or Vigilance pairings, right? Okay, what keywords are going to be on which cards and that kind of thing. Like, that's more interesting from a design space. That's what I feel like. If it's the same words across that whole series of cards, it's just I don't know. If it is that way, fine. But I feel like it seems too easy from
It
a design
does.
standpoint.
I keep flip flopping because honestly, I think if it were the same keyword, and here's the thing, like FFG, no offense, FFG, like they are kind of notorious for poor phrasing sometimes. So in the article, in parentheses, it says one for each aspect. It doesn't say that means it's like the same across all the cards, but assuming it is, it would still be somewhat interesting to be like, okay, let's say it's Sentinel for vigilance. Then, all right, how does Sentinel pair with hidden, or not? It wouldn't pair with hidden. How does Sentinel pair with ambush versus with overwhelm versus raid? Or like, I don't know. It makes me think of like
don't pair. Like
they don't synergize, but like they could pair. Like look at Gore.
Right. It depends on your game state, right? It's
right.
Like if you have
and
it
gives you
target,
flexibility. What if you need
yes.
You need the Sentinel against an aggro deck versus whatever. So I could see either case being the same. But I agree it's more interesting if they decide to go with different keywords.
Right. Now if they go with all the same keywords, I feel like ambush for cunning makes sense. What did you say? There's 59 sentinels in vigilance or something. Like I feel like there's too many already.
So I would almost go restore.
I could see them doing like a restore one. And then maybe raid for aggression. What did you say the top one was for command?
So overwhelm and ambush are actually tied.
Right. So you can't do ambush because I just use that for cunning. So maybe it's overwhelmed. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I don't know. Those would be the ones that I would pick. If it was going to be one of each, I would do restore, ambush on the cunning side, overwhelm for command, and then like a raid on the aggression.
Nice. All right. Let us again. I feel like I say this a lot, but this is part 2. Let us know in the comments what keywords you guys associate with the different aspects. All right. Next up, one of the leaders in the set has received multiple leader cards before, but this time they're sporting a new to Star Wars Unlimited and lesser known look. Now, this is interesting because my first gut reaction was Lando Calrissian in his disguise for Jabba's palace, because we do have multiple Lando leaders, and that would be him in a new or lesser known look. But it says one of the leaders in this set, and I don't think they're going to make him a leader because we've already seen his unit card. So that threw me for a loop.
So I have an answer. Okay. I did make the same note on Lando. Okay. I don't think Lando's the answer.
Me neither.
But I need to stand on the soapbox for at least a little minute or so.
Okay, go for it.
Here are the leaders so far that have multiple leader cards. Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker, Asajj Ventress, Boba Fett, Cassian Andor, Chancellor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Grand Inquisitor, Han Solo, Jabba the Hutt, Kylo Ren, Lando Calrissian, Leia Organa, Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Padme Amidala, and Rey.
Okay, so this is where you did your research. Go ahead.
It is criminal that R2-D2 is not a leader. It is also criminal, in my opinion, that General Veers is not a leader. Veers is more of a fringe case, I would say, but you got like, I don't know. And is he more popular than any of these characters that I just rattled off? Like, maybe not, but like, R2-D2 is in basically every movie.
Yep.
I mean, he's not in Rogue One, I guess.
No,
but I think he's in like in the corner of a screen. Yeah. Maybe he's not in Solo.
No, he's not in Solo. But
I think every other movie he's in, and not only that, he's in the same form, right? So you have like young Han, old Han. You got and older Han, I guess. You got like young Obi and old Obi. You've got 3PO and like 3PO before he had all the plating and all that kind of. R2 is R2. Period. Flat out. How is he not a leader? FFG, this is criminal. Like, I don't get it. Yes, he's my favorite character. But still, come on, let's go. Now, the one thing that I'm okay with that he's not a leader yet is because most of the leaders, the vast majority of them up until now through 6 sets, are not very good. So had they made R2-D2 a leader, there's a chance that he would be, like a Nala Se or a Finn or something that was not very good. So, okay, fine. I'm okay with them holding off on making R2-D2 leader until he can just completely not stink. But come on. All right. So that said, my actual answer for this is
good. I can't wait.
My actual answer for this is I feel like it's a cop-out, and we've already seen it. And it's the Leia Organa in disguise as Boushh.
I did not put her because of that fact. Do you want to take another? Like, I'm just scrolling through the list of leaders now, and I've got some wild takes.
So, all right. So, a couple of the other guesses that I had, we had, so that while there's multiple Obi-Wan Kenobi leaders, there's not an old Ben or old Obi-Wan leader.
Yep. Or Force Ghost Obi-Wan.
Force Ghost Obi. I don't know. So there's other options for Obi-Wan there. Either Luke or Han in their Death Star rescue stormtrooper outfit.
Ooh, okay.
Could be a thing. The other one that I had is Boba Fett when he's with the Tusken Raiders.
That's good. I went the other way. I thought Boba Fett as like a young Boba Fett, like child Boba Fett.
Oh, kid Boba Fett?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a leader so much then.
He was, though, because there was a Clone Wars arc where he teamed up with like Aura Singh and someone else. So
right.
that's one of my hot takes. I have
listen,
crazier ones.
If C-3PO can be a leader, freaking any character can be a leader. Again, criminal that R2 is not a leader. I can't believe that 3PO is one. I mean, yes, he fit the themes of Secrets of Power, with officials and things like that. Fine. But like, come on, developers, let's go.
So there are, again, just scrolling through the list of leaders, there are a bunch of them, a bunch of characters that have either like changed allegiances or, dressed up as a disguise. Like the Luke and Han in the Stormtrooper outfits is great. I'm pretty sure Ahsoka has dressed up as disguised herself, or Anakin at some point in Clone Wars. Asajj Ventress, like a light side Asajj Ventress, could be interesting. I don't know if she was ever light side, but not dark. Well, she doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to be light heroism. She could be, yellow blue or something, a yellow blue leader in the set.
Right. I mean, if we get a third Asajj Ventress
before an R2-D2,
I may lose my mind.
Who else we got? Wait, Rey. I really hope it's not like Rey Skywalker, although I'm terrified that that's going to be a card.
I mean, that eventually will be a card. I don't know that it's a leader. Plus, that doesn't fit with like a lesser known look.
Right,
like
and that's
basically looks the same.
That's what turned me off from Kylo, because again, the Ben Solo art that they just revealed has been pretty fresh in my mind. So I'm thinking like, oh, maybe we get like a light side Kylo leader. But again, the look
he still basically looks the same.
Is the same look, right? So here's what else did I put? So my first thing I had was Lando. Then I put, this is not my idea. I have to give credit to, I don't remember who said it. Somebody in the Pittsburgh Radar Tech Discords, shout out to them, had said Obi-Wan disguised as the bounty hunter Rako Hardeen. So there was an arc in Clone Wars where Obi-Wan went undercover into like a prison disguised as a bounty hunter, which I think that was given art. Like, I think we've seen that. I think I don't know which, whatever. I don't know. I think we have art of that somewhere.
I mean,
but I have one more.
Okay.
I have one more wild take. Han Solo, frozen in carbonite. and when you deploy him, he's thawed out of the carbonite.
So front side, he
So
does nothing.
He does nothing on the leader side, but you get something when he comes out. It's not going to be a thing, but think about it. How wild that would be.
So, okay, I love that.
Because we know we've got the rescue from Jabba's palace. Why not make that probably not a leader? It would be cool as a card though. You know, like
listen,
a card.
They have the frozen space Leia that deploy. I like that idea. I think it'd be hysterical to have the front side do nothing. Would be really funny. So I've written a couple articles for the official site.
Mm-hmm.
I know how long lead time they need prior to the articles going live on the site, that it wouldn't shock me if Tyler had written this so far prior that he didn't know whether it was going to be posted on the site before or after the spotlight decks were shown. And I'm sticking to, as much as the Han is good. I think having the Stormtrooper, either Han or Luke, would be funny. You know, all the other ideas. To Obi-Wan as whoever bounty hunter.
I'll put a picture up eventually.
I'm convinced that it's the one that we've already seen.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, this is tough.
I'm gonna go with Leia.
I think that's the safe bet. There are some wacky trait lines on units in this set, including Underworld Wookiee Bounty Hunter. Now, we've seen that trait line already in the game.
We have?
Black Chrysanthemum from Shadows is the same.
I figured that's who it has to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that there's any other character that fits that.
I think there is. Probably from a comic or maybe like an old expanded universe novel, but not in any main Star Wars media, like mainstream stuff these days. But yeah, here, Chrysanthemum, that is literally his tagline. So I would not be... Now, we know we're not going to see a reprint because bounty is not going to be a keyword in this set. But we could see a new version of this character on a card.
Wouldn't shock me if we just see a new version of it.
Yep. All right, the next one, much more tricky. Underworld Vehicle, Fighter, and Transport. We have never had a Fighter and Transport, despite the fact that we have a U-Wing that is a Transport and a U-Wing that is a Fighter.
Right. So, my first thought on this was that it would have to be some sort of U-Wing.
Yep.
And it just happens to now have both traits.
What about, here's my wild take. What if we repurpose somehow like the blue leader effect where it is a ship or it's a unit that can be played in either arena, and the effect or the ability somehow is influenced by, like, it's a different effect. It's obviously going to have the trait no matter what arena it's in, but it might have like some sort of an ability in space arena that's different than the ground arena or something like that.
Right. So in the ground, it's Underworld Vehicle Fighter, and in space, it's Underworld Vehicle Transport.
Well,
or something.
I think that might be a little too complicated. Like, I think the traits would just have to be attached to it, because I'm trying to imagine how much text would have to justify that.
But I think on the... Now I have to look.
Like, it could say, while this unit is in the space arena, it loses the transport trait. While this unit is on the ground arena, it loses the fighter trait. But I think that's just way... Like, I don't know if that would get past design as being worth it.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like how they did the pilots, where they're sort of like the pilot.
Oh, the text box is split.
Like the regular text unit for the unit, and then the upgrade pilot text. That it could be, but then I don't know.
Yeah, because the traits are listed on there twice, aren't they?
No, I'm looking at it now. They do not.
They're not?
They only list the traits once.
Whoa, that's wild. Okay.
So maybe it's not. I don't know.
No, yeah, you're right.
Anyway, my other thoughts, right? If we hadn't gotten Luthen's Hallcraft, it would have been that. but we sort of just got that.
Yep.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of is like another version of the Ghost, just because Hera tends to fly it as if it's a fighter, even though they do transport things.
Yeah, no, because I mean, the starships in Star Wars has always been my favorite part, and I really can't think of a good example of something that would be both a fighter and a transport beside, like the U-Wing is the obvious choice.
I mean,
it's so weird.
There could easily be, you can make an argument that the Falcon is both a transport and a fighter.
It's a little,
I mean, it's not a single pilot fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm curious. I can't wait to see what that ends up being, though. But all right, last one is even weirder. Rebel Tusken Bounty Hunter.
So,
any thoughts?
The only thing I can think of is there's some version of Boba Fett from when he's with the Tuskens.
But he's not a rebel.
But he's not really a rebel.
Right. That same, I had the same line of thinking. It was just like, oh, yeah, but not rebel.
I mean, it could be one of those things where they're just making crap up. They're grabbing some random Tusken Raider and saying, yeah, it's a...
I'd be surprised if that ends up being the case, but it could be. So here's the thing. Go ahead. I'll let you finish while I'm looking at this
I did try and search for like, hey, are there Tusken bounty hunters? And I couldn't find any.
Ooh, I did this. I did the other pair. I searched for Tusken rebels.
Okay.
And so you didn't find any Tusken bounty hunters?
No.
So I found this character. I don't know her actual name. But the character second from the right, so just next to the Gamorrean, like just in front of the Gamorrean's face, is a female rebel who went undercover dressed as a Tusken named Gita, Gita. Now I think this is a picture from one of the Darth Vader comics yet again. And they look like they're assembling like a team or something again.
Yeah.
So that is the only thing I could find that matches that criteria.
All right, so you win the award for going deeper than I did. I can't make any argument as to why you're wrong.
Besides the fact that character is so obscure that like nobody who hasn't read that comic would know who it is. When has that stopped them from making...
I mean, Dengar's standing right there. Like, there's at least a bounty hunter there, so sure.
Right. Yeah. That's, like, I have no idea.
It must be that. That's all I can say. It must be
and
that.
And then, honestly, and next to her in that picture, it almost looks like Rio Durant, or Durant, however you say his name, like in between her and Dengar. But I don't think
or at least the same species, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting stuff. Okay. That's it for the traits. A leader in this set doubles specific triggered abilities in a way that's similar to Grand Admiral Thrawn from Jump to Lightspeed. Do we think this is your next win played happens twice? Because that would be insane. Your next on attack. I mean, so we have your next win played triggers twice with Qui-Gon's Aether Sprite. The problem with that is you have to attack with it, and it's pretty poorly statted for its cost. So you don't get it doesn't see a lot of play. Well, would sticking your next win played triggers twice on a leader break the game?
Not if it costs enough.
Yeah.
So if it was flat out just exhaust the leader, double the win played, like, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Giving 2 units -6 with Luke.
Or
Bo-Katan's -3 would give the experience tokens. Yeah.
But what if it costs 2? What if it costs 3? Right?
What if it doesn't cost a resource? What if you have to sack a unit? Or
what if you have to sack a unit and
5 damage to a base?
Cost? If you put enough cost on it,
high risk, high reward, right?
High risk, high reward. I don't know.
I would like to see deal 5 damage to your base. Your next win played win played triggers twice, or something ridiculous like that.
It would. if it's on a when played trigger, it would have to be something like that.
Now, I think when played is too broken. Personally, I think a more reasonable thing is pay 1 or 2, exhaust this leader, attack with a unit. That unit's on attack triggers twice. That way, it requires some setup and is still costing you resources.
Well, and it can also be you can respond to it before it happens.
Right.
So
you can play around it.
Yeah, you can play around it. If it's the when played, right, you can just do it, right? There's nothing as the opponent that you can stop them from doing it.
Yep.
If it's on an attack, then it's like, okay, hey, I know your leader can double the on attack abilities. Okay, you played something with a big on attack, and then fine, I have the rest of that round to try and deal with that unit. Right.
Which is why I think that's much more
defeated,
likely.
I could, waylay it. I could, capture. Well, not waylay because that's rotating, but whatever.
Beguile.
Some bounce effect or whatever. Yeah. Some capture effect. Like I have the rest of that round, and at least the beginning of the next. If I have initiative and maybe longer to actually try to deal with it. The on attack makes more sense.
For sure. Cool. All right, staples from Spark of Rebellion return with a twist, with 2 new variants of Remove All Units events and 2 new cards that accelerate your resource generation permanently. Ramp is not going away.
So Ramp's not going away. The other thing that I immediately thought of was a super laser blast.
Super
laser blast.
Well, we just saw the art of the Death Star taking out the comm tower on Scarif, right? Yeah. So do we think defeat all ground units? We just got Hyperspace Disaster, which is 7 cost, defeat all space units. Maybe that could be defeat all ground units.
Well, it says remove all units.
True. So it doesn't have to be defeat.
So it's not necessarily defeat. I don't know if that might just be semantics, but it's
a good observation.
I don't know. There could be basically a super laser blast that only hits ground. So then you have, one for space arena, one for ground arena. Okay, fine. There's not then the mega both arena thing. Mm-hmm. Fine.
And then you have evacuate, which is return all units to their owner's hands. Which is that rotating? No, that was JTL, wasn't it? Let's see.
Evacuate. I'd have to look.
Oh no, it is. It was Shadows. Wow. Okay, why did I think that was JTL? Yeah, no, evacuate's rotating. So maybe we get something like that.
Maybe something like that. Well, except this says Spark of Rebellion.
True.
I mean the Spark of Rebellion cards for resource generation, right, are whatever
resupply and super laser tech.
Resupply and super laser tech, right? So
yep. So all right, real quick, this is kind of going off in a different direction because I actually had another video that I'm working on that may or may not become a thing. So in case it doesn't become a thing, I'll put this in here. And I might have shared. Did I share the art with you? I think I did. Of the reversion or the remade cards of set 1. Yep. Yeah. So the my version of resupply, which started out as put the 3 cost command card, put the top card of your deck into play as a resource, which gives you a little less control over what you're resourcing. But I still think that that's too easy. So I don't know if I sent you the remade version of it, but the most recent version of my version is 3 cost command, put another card in your hand into play as a resource.
That was, no, you had sent me that one.
Cool.
Something along those lines, there's more cost to doing it. Right. Obviously resupply is good. I mean, we're seeing that now in the current meta, right? I mean, with the Yoda decks and the ramp there, having to play resupply and another card out of your hand, 2 cards plus the 3 resources, at some point it starts to be steep. I get it, you're drawing 2 every turn, but that's a lot.
Yep. Now you're playing down a card for that ramp, which is really the cost, which is so much of a cost. I wonder if it wouldn't be balanced at 2 resources, but even that might break it again, because now you're ramping on turn 1.
I don't know that you want them to do it on turn 1, because one of the reasons why, like, the Han 1 deck or decks period have been over a couple of years is like that you can resupply on turn 1.
Well, yeah, but then that resource comes into play ready, and you can spend it right away. Whereas this version, you're going to have 3 resources turn 1, but all 3 of them are exhausted. So yes, you'll go into round 2 with 4 ready resources, but now you're playing down 2 cards. I think that would require testing, but I could see a world where that's a thing.
Could be a thing.
I hope not.
I don't know. I hope not. I hope not. I mean,
we'll see what
as
they
an
cook
aggro
up.
player, I don't hate ramp as much as I hate sentinels, but it's still annoying. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. All right. So next up, start collecting your gambits now, because a unique unit in the set makes the trait worth building around in Premiere. So I looked at gambits. Currently, there's 25 in the game. Of those 25, 10 are rotating out. So that only leaves us with 15 to still play with. And some of them are really bad. For example, 1 in a Million, that card that just came out, is a gambit. Confidence in Victory.
I wouldn't even count that one.
Confidence in Victory, the alternate win condition, that 10 cost red-black legendary, is a gambit. 2 of them are from the intro Battle Hoth and are not that great. Well, I kind of like Watch This. Watch This. 6 cost, return a non-leader unit that costs 6 or less to its owner hand. Exhaust each other enemy unit in the same arena.
All right, even if that one counts, you still knocked out 3 of the 15. You're down to 12.
Yeah. Trench Run. And Trench Run's good. I like that one. And Faith in Your Friends.
Some that are good.
Yeah, Faith in Your Friends is pretty good. Anyway, we'll probably get new ones. In Eternal, that might actually be really cool, because there's some good gambits in Eternal. You're My Only Hope is a gambit. Change of Heart is a gambit. A New Adventure, if you're playing double yellow, saw some play. I don't know. I don't care that much about this. What do you think?
I don't know. The first thing that popped in my head is something with Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the art that we saw is the Lando unit where he's in disguise, like, that doesn't necessarily lead to like having anything to do with gambits necessarily.
No, actually, not only did we see the art, we got that card. Yeah, so that card's actually been spoiled here.
Okay.
It's got your favorite keyword. It's oh look, while this unit is defending the attacker gets,
has nothing to do with gambits.
This is cheer it at home.
Yeah, right. But I mean the art with the young Lando playing cards.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean that could be an event, not a unit. It'd be weird if there were 2 Lando units.
You know what I would love? Again, totally unrelated to what we're talking about, but since you said the Lando playing cards, what if he had like either win plate or on attack? Each player reveals the top card of their deck. Whoever's costs the highest creates a credit token, or something like that.
I mean, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
It'd be fun.
Anyway. So, all right, so that's the gambits. A pair of effective removal events reference 2 halves of saying whoa, I really messed up that. A pair of effective removal events reference 2 halves of a saying used in the Andor TV show. So I looked up a bunch of sayings in Andor.
So did I.
What do you got? What'd you come up with?
All right. So I think the best one is the axe forgets, the tree remembers.
Oh, okay.
So Skeen, I think, says that.
All right.
And then the other one, Cassian says at some point, kill me or take me in.
Yeah, he does. That's right.
So those are without rewatching all of Andor.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 that popped in my head. I don't know. Cool. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if there was other ones.
I would. So the first thing that jumped into my mind can't be used, and it was One Way Out, because that's, first of all, there's not like two halves of a saying.
There's not two halves. Yeah.
And that was already a card, wasn't it?
I think so.
We got One Way Out last set. So that's out of the question. Then I was thinking of like Luthen's speech, his monologue. So the I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. But I don't know how you would, even if that was like two events, I don't know how you would split that up. And then the other one was rebellions are built on hope, but same problem. Like how you would split that into two halves is not really a thing.
Right. Rebellions are built on hope doesn't really split. The One Way Out obviously is a card, but also wouldn't split. The Luthen one is a good one. I
guess you could do I burn my life, and you could do
I burn my life and
a sunrise I'll never see or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So like those could, hey, if those are card names, cool.
Yeah.
The casting quote that I threw out, the kill me or take me in, like I can't imagine that they're going to make a card called kill me.
Yeah.
That seems odd, right? That's why like my top pick would have been the Skeen quote, the axe forgets, the tree remembers. Like,
yeah,
those easily could be like two cards. I don't know how they're removal events exactly, but
well, you know what? I did not think about this until just now, but it reminds me a little bit of the Precarious Predicament and It's Worse cards that came out in Legends, where like maybe one card gives a discount to the next one. So like if you play the one first and then you play the second one on a following turn, like you get some sort of synergy there or something.
I think you're missing the word effective.
Yeah.
He says a pair of effective removal events.
Yeah. I have no idea. But no, I think that's a good guess. All right, and lastly in this section, this set has more speeder units than any other set. I wonder why that would be. I have to admit, when I read this the first time, I was like, why is that? Why would that be? I can't, like, it makes it sound like it's obvious. And then it wasn't actually until the art stream that I was like, oh, right. Now I know why it makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah,
why?
I mean, it's clearly the Sebulba artwork.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to see some pod racers. For sure.
I hope we get a lot. As somebody who has gotten gold medals or first place wins on every track in both Star Wars Racer and Star Wars Racer Revenge, which people don't even know existed. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of my favorite pod racers from those games.
So am I. I feel like, how can Sebulba not be a pilot? How is there not going to be pilots?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe listen, there's nothing that says that there can't be.
Right.
Other than we have not yet seen any specific set mechanic carry over to another set. Right? The pilots stayed in Jump to Lightspeed. The Force was basic. Yes, there's Force units outside of Legends of the Force, but cards that specifically use the Force are only in that.
Hidden is the first keyword that has been in multiple sets.
Except when Hidden was released, they said it was a new evergreen word.
Right.
So it wasn't. Yes,
I'm agreeing with you, by the way. I'm not saying, but wait, what about Hidden?
Like, I don't know that I would say Hidden was a set mechanic.
Sure.
I think like bounties were or exploit in those kinds of things.
We should get like 4 or 5 cards per set that use older mechanics.
They use older stuff, and it's like, okay, hey, here's pod racers. Okay, make pilots that can only. Here's a Sebulba card. He can only pilot a speeder unit.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and okay, cool. It just.
It does make me wonder what that art of Sebulba is going to be, because it wouldn't make sense. I don't think it makes sense to just have him be a ground unit like that. So then, is that an event? Is that a leader? Like, I don't see it being a leader either.
And that's the thing. I think he should be a pilot. he should be a speeder pilot.
Maybe they'll surprise us, and this will be
maybe they surprise us. It's piloting is a cool mechanic. So are bounty and exploit. Like the set mechanics are cool mechanics. I wish they would include things. And I'm not saying like, okay, hey, Lawless Time has the multi-colored cards and it's got credits and stuff like that. Okay, fine, but you could throw 3 pilots in there.
Yep,
it wouldn't hurt.
All right, let's quickly jump down to the last section because we're already pushing like 45-50 minutes. So let's see if we can burn through.
Be fast.
I know, and I know I want to keep you all hours of the night. So, last section here, just random trivia facts again. No, sorry, these are clips of text from cards. Now, I don't know how much we're gonna have to talk about these because it's not like we know whether this text comes from a unit or an event or a leader or an upgrade, or like we don't know anything about this. So we can't really speculate like, hey, what kind of character do you think that this is going to be on? But
right.
So, for example,
there's
the first
also
one,
some of these that are so vague that it's like, okay,
right,
sure,
So opponents can't take control of this unit.
Okay,
cool. I guess that's on a unit.
That sounds like it would be on a unit. It could be. The only other thought that I had is it could be on an upgrade that you could put on a unit that makes it then you can't take control of the unit. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. I guess here's what I will say about that. That makes me think that they're going to be printing a lot of not a lot, but a chunk of cards that take control of units. So maybe we see a traitorous reprint, or something like Change of Heart, something like that.
Right.
Otherwise,
it goes back to your like, hey, can I pay my opponent's units to come work for me for a round or two, kind of thing.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. Search the top 10 cards of your deck for any number of droid units.
So
L3?
again, R2D2 needs to be a leader, and the other part of this that it was interesting to me is that it's any number. So I don't know that. We've had search cards before that usually go.
Yeah, that's a good question. What do you think the rest of this text is? Draw them, play them, discard them for each?
I don't know. Rip them up, throw them up in the air, eat them. Like it could be right. So, but we've not ever searched. Like it's usually search for a card or search for a total cost of cards. Right, yeah. With the like U-wing reinforcement type thing.
For up to 3 or for
up to 3 or whatever. Like it's never like any number is that it could be.
It's
10.
a little scary.
It could be. Yeah, you could get a lot of droids.
Search the top 10 cards of your deck for any number of droid units. For each, or and discard them. For each one discarded, create a credit token. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. What if it's the Jawas? What if it's the Jawas standing outside of the Sandcrawler and it's an event where you search your deck for droids, you discard them, and you get credits as if you're selling them?
That could be so broken.
Is it to fill your deck with droids? Or with Voot and Pala?
You just play something massive so fast.
Not if you're discarding them, so you're not... Well, yeah, with the credit tokens you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but with the credit, but the other thing in your, you make sure the other thing in your hand is something massive.
It's big. Yeah.
I
actually think I'm onto something there because we just saw that art of all like the Jawa scavengers standing around outside the. Anyway, we'll see that. If its cost is odd, create a credit token. We saw that on the. Isn't that the golden dice card? Yeah, it is. Han's Golden Dice. Attach unit gains on attack. Discard a card from your deck. If its cost is odd, create a credit token.
Okay.
All right. So, your point earlier about the article being written before the spoilers.
Right.
Defeat any number of units you own, but don't control. That one seems pretty fun. Also makes me think about the hiring your opponent's units.
Hiring your opponent's guys and stuff like that. Yeah. And then...
you attack with them and then you kill them all.
Yeah. I mean, that, first of all, there's no, there's a period at the end of that. There's no ellipse on it. That could be the entire text of the card.
I think it might be an event.
I mean, I'm sure it's an event. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, kind of screams sideboard card.
Yeah.
To me.
Play a card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. Is that not just the base text? Or I guess they could put that on an event too, or even
So
a
I
later
was
ability.
thinking that this could be similar to like a timely intervention.
Yeah.
Where you're sort of like paying, like you're paying one. You're doing
Ooh.
something where it's not an aspect penalty, like it's less than the aspect penalty, but then you get to ignore the aspect penalty.
It's not the base, because the base specifies one of its vigilance, command, aggression, or cunning aspect penalties, whereas this doesn't. So I think you're right. This is probably like a win has become now, one cost event that lets you play a card and ignore its aspect penalties. Interesting.
Which means you could probably do some goofy stuff.
Yep. Yeah. I like that. All right, cool. When this event is discarded from your hand or deck, do a thing.
Cool. I mean,
goes
yeah,
goes well with the if it's an odd cost event, then hopefully it'll pair well with Han's golden
right.
dice. All right, choose an aspect. Give each enemy unit with that aspect. Probably.
So my first thought is it's going to have
-2,
like
-0.
a -X kind of thing after it.
Would have been nice if it was bounty. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, could be neat.
On attack, you may defeat a friendly resource. If you do, all right. So we've got reverse ramp.
So this one seemed to me similar to like the Wrecker come into play effect.
Sure, I've got a spice with this, but go ahead.
Yeah, it just similar to, not saying that we'll get a different Wrecker, but similar idea is that Wrecker come into play, you get rid of the resource, you do the 5 damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this, okay, fine, you could continue to do it every time you attack with the thing. So play, and you just stabilize at whatever the resource is. Like you drop play resource and then you immediately get rid of it. The part after that sentence would need to be cool.
I've got some cool ideas. So how about on attack? You may defeat a friendly resource. If you do, the next unit or the next card you play this phase costs 2 less.
That would be good.
Or similarly, create 2 credit tokens. Something like that. Something that gives you like temporary ramp at the cost of a permanent resource.
Right.
Would that be good?
It would probably depend on how much the unit itself cost.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
So
because it's on attack.
Let's say it's a 1 or 2 cost unit, right? So you could play it on turn 1. No, because you would be like completely screwing yourself. You'd be stuck at 2 resources for the whole game.
That's also a good point. That ramp typically, or I should say, not ramp. Discounting cards you play is more effective earlier in the game when you have low resource counts. So that's a good point. Yeah, right. I don't know. Although, I think that
kind of you would get to 5 though.
Right.
So go with your example, right? If you could defeat a resource to get 2 credits, right? Mm-hmm. So if you play that for 2, then on the second round you're dropping the 3rd, mm-hmm. right? You can use all 3.
You're yeah. You have to pay a 3 and a 2
before you defeat one. Right.
Yep,
so you can play a 3 drop, attack with the 2 drop, defeat now one of the resources, you get 2 credits. So now you have 2 resources and 2 credits, right? So then when you go into round 3, you play another resource, right? And you would have 5. Or technically up to 6, right? Because you could swing again, defeat a resource and now you have 4 credits and 2 remaining resources.
It would need testing. Maybe you put that on a unit with 2 HP so that doesn't happen reliably or something. Who knows? Make it like the chopper is a 4/1.
Something. But it could. I mean, my point is it could work.
It's an interesting way to look at it. If you're defeating a friendly resource, you need some sort of it needs to be a good payoff.
Getting 2 credits for a friendly resource might be worth it.
All right, next.
My question is it too good?
Defeat a friendly resource. If you do, give each friendly unit Sentinel for the face.
Oh god.
All right, next is I feel important to put ... They may play the revealed card for free if they do ... So it's got to be something that like reveals the top card of their deck and then gives them, kind of like the new Thrawn legendary, gives them the option to play it for free, but if they do, you get something good.
Well, or they get something bad.
Right.
Right. So one thought I had is like, okay, they reveal a card, they can play it for free. For the if they do, they take a point of damage for the resource cost of the card. A 5-cost card, they take 5 damage to their base.
Look, I know I sound like a broken record, but my mind keeps going to like credit generation just because that's like the main mechanic that we've seen spoiled so far. So I'm thinking like if they play it for free, if they do, you get credits equal to half of its cost rounded up or something. You know, or maybe the whole cost.
Maybe the whole cost. Right. They get a free 5-cost thing, but you get 5 credits.
5 credits. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Look at all of an opponent's resources. You may ... That's pretty cool. I can see that being a valid strategy in some competitive decks because, like, maybe you want to know if they still have their third board wipe or something, and oh, nope, they resource that turn 1.
My thought is if after the ... if it says play 1 for the remainder of this phase with no aspect penalty, would be pretty cool.
That would be insane. Look at the opponent's resources. You may play one card. Yeah, I can see that. While you control 7 or more units.
So,
how often have you seen 7 or more units on the board?
So this one, I understand that Tyler was not the lead designer on the set, but this screams like a Tyler card because he seems to want token units to matter. You know, whether it was with the recent spies or with the previous, like the clone troopers and the battle droids. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly after the ... has to be something really cool because how often do you have 7 units out?
The only thing that I can think of is post-rotation, we don't really know what is going to happen to the meta. Maybe that is not as hard as it is currently, but I still, even with like Queen Amidala and all the spy generation, I don't know. I don't see it. It's not like Lawless Time is introducing new token units. Who knows? I mean, we still have jump to light speed, so I guess you could do scramble fighters and then whatever this is, but I don't see it. This next one, though, is probably the most interesting of the bunch.
So this next 3 words is my
the most
favorite
terrifying
part of the entire article.
So we saved the best. All right, let's skip it for now. Then we'll do that one last.
We'll do that one last. Okay.
All right. That one. ... You may have the attacking unit deal combat damage before this unit. Why? Like it.
So I feel like this is something that has grit.
Ooh.
So it's a 4/4.
Yeah.
4/4 with grit. You attack into it with a 4/6, say, or even a 4/8. Or no, that wouldn't make sense. No, you attack into it with a 3/6, right? So cool. I let you do the 3 damage first.
Now I have 7
power. I have a 4/1, but I have grit, so I can do 7 back. That was. I feel like there's a math shenanigan that could happen there.
That's very brainy. I like it. I'm surprised I didn't think of that, but well done. That's got to be what it is. I cannot think of a situation like the first thing I thought of was like the new Jabba leader, but it doesn't matter because the unit's still going to be taking the damage. So it's not like you can benefit from Jabba's ability, kill the unit, and not like it doesn't make a difference. I don't know. So that's got to be what it is.
Right. That was the only thing I can think of is that there could be some math shenanigan thing where, it has grit and or sentinel and let you do this thing.
All right. When attack ends is a new trigger timing. We don't know, as you pointed out, we don't know if it's a new trigger timing or if it's just a rephrased when this unit completes an attack. I am starting to lean more in your direction, where I think it's just when the attack ends doesn't necessarily mean the unit has to survive. I think it might just trigger regardless, so that's interesting. But I do feel like we talked about that a little bit earlier. So
Yeah.
let's talk about your 3 favorite words.
These are my 3 favorite words in this article. ... Additional regroup phase. ... This is amazing to me. So, and just, okay.
So what do we think the rest
from,
of the sentence could be?
So, like, from the official site, right? There are 3 steps to the regroup phase: draw cards, resource a card, and ready cards. Both players complete these steps in order. Okay.
Yep.
So if both players got the additional regroup phase, then basically all you're doing is both players ramp and you skip a round. So if the entire, like, I don't know, obviously we don't know the ... dots, right? I do something, there's an additional regroup phase, and then you go on to the next round, right? It could be something like that. If on the 3 let's say it's a 3 resource event that I play that says, all right, additional regroup phase at the end of, the current round, right? If both of us do it, we would draw 2 cards. We both play our 4th resource, and then we ready all our cards. Now we do an additional regroup phase. We draw 2 more cards each. We're playing our 5th resource, and then we're readying our cards, which are already ready. So all we've done is skip the 4 resource turn. We've both ramped. We've both drawn 2 extra cards, and we've effectively skipped that one round where we had 4 resources. We've gone straight to 5. So I feel like that would be interesting in and of itself.
Okay.
But is it good enough? Like, maybe, I don't know, like, I'm ramping you, like, it doesn't necessarily give me an advantage, right? So the other thought that I had is it could be almost like a time walk from Magic the Gathering. Time walk, for anybody who doesn't know, is basically you take an extra turn after this one. One of the best. So you think it might not be?
Set. You think it might not be a symmetrical effect? Do you think it might
may not be a symmetrical effect?
You choose a player, they take an extra regroup phase.
Could be. Choose a player. That player gets an additional regroup phase after the primary regroup phase, or whatever the wording is, right? So now I've gotten 2 additional cards. I've gotten to ramp. And yes, okay, I ready all my cards, which are ready anyhow. So the ready step doesn't matter as much. So that was my other thought. Is it could be something like that, where it's effectively giving me sort of that permanent ramp and almost like an extra, not quite an extra turn,
extra card,
extra 2 attacks and all that kind of thing. But I love this. I love where this could go. It could be significantly worse than either of those things I just said.
Here's what I did. I searched for cards that reference the regroup phase to see what this could pair well with, if anything. Did you do the same or no?
Nope.
Okay. So a lot of cards that come up are things that expire or, whatever, like final, like unrefusable offer. You get their unit until the regroup phase, then it's defeated. Or change of heart, take control of a non-leader unit at the start of the regroup phase, its owner takes control of it. So things like that have no interaction with this whatsoever. Cards that do. Some of them are rotating out. But just to talk about them, Dr. Aphra. When the regroup phase starts, discard a card from your deck. So in this case, with the old Dr. Aphra leader from Shadows, you'll get to do it twice. Zillow Beast sees no play, but just because we're talking about it, when the regroup phase starts, heal 5 damage from this unit. It has 10 HP, so it could heal from 1 HP back to 10 in one regroup phase. Probably not relevant. Also, probably not relevant, but interesting. Foresight, the upgrade, the Vigilance upgrade, when the regroup phase starts, before drawing cards, you name a card, then look at the top card of your deck. Whatever. All right. Starting to some of the more interesting ones. Fireball, when the regroup phase starts, deal 1 damage to this unit. So if it is choose a player, and you're playing against Kazuda, you can like force them to kill their own fireball because they didn't have time to to use Kazuda's ability on it. Still not super interesting. The two on here that are interesting are Doom from Legends of the Force. When the regroup phase starts, give an experience token to each other friendly non-vehicle unit. So now you're putting twice the experience tokens on units. And the new Dryden Voss unit, the 2/5 on attack, double this unit's power for this attack if you do this unit doesn't ready during the next regroup phase. But now he will because there's
Now he
two.
would. Yep.
So I imagine we might see some more cards that make that more relevant, because really that's all I could find. But it is interesting. There's some Timmy things you can do in there. I like the Doom interaction.
The Doom interaction is cool. The Dryden interaction is cool. I actually like the Zillow Beast one. That would be a lot of healing. It seems like it would be insanely narrow.
Yeah.
Like
based on
like,
what the card pool, like literally there's only
today. Yeah.
There's only 23 cards that reference the regroup phase in the 6 sets that we have now, and most of them have no synergy with whatever this card would be.
Right.
So
and
that's
why I sort of looked at it. I didn't do the search because I knew intuitively I knew that there weren't many.
Yeah.
And a lot of them would be like Fireball or Falcon up,
Yep.
the spend resource and
return to your hand.
That's why I was trying to think of like what would be something neat that you could do where it's like the card in and of itself is good.
Yeah, I think the just choosing a player and having them ramp and draw extra cards would be really cool. That would be a method of permanent ramp that the earlier point is referencing.
Right. Like that, the text could literally be choose a player. That player gets an additional regroup phase after the first regroup phase. That could be it. That could be the whole card. And it's an event and it costs some amount.
I was gonna say, what would that have to cost to be fair? 3? Is that the next 3 cost command event that is a form of permanent ramp?
Here's the problem. It can't
it
only
has to
cost
be more. It has
3,
to be.
So
it would have to be 5 because you're drawing more.
Because 3, so to like just the extra resource is what resupply gets you today. You're paying 3, you get the extra resource. This is getting you the resource and 2 cards.
Yeah.
So it would have to cost at least 4.
No, it would have to be 5 or 6.
Right. At which point, like, does it matter? So you're gonna ramp from like 6 to 8. You're gonna get like,
yeah, and it doesn't even trigger the aggression heroism Ray because you're not drawing her during the action phase. Like if you were to draw her and those extra cards.
Right.
Yeah. It's still very interesting. I can't wait to see this set. Really actually has me super hyped. I feel like I say that every set, but this set, because we're getting rotation and the meta is going to change more than it's ever changed in the games past, has me more hyped for this set than normal.
I have a lot of trepidation about the set. A lot of it is just with rotation and not the set itself. I think the stuff that we've seen from a Lawless time so far has been really good. I think the double aspect cards are really good. I think the legendaries that and rares for that matter that we've seen are solid cards. We talked about it. I think it was in part 1, the leader, high risk, high reward leaders that comment has me a little worried. How leaders shake up after rotation, but everything seems like it's I don't know. The set itself seems like it will be pretty cool. Now, granted, if they do spoil or preview an R2D2 leader next week, Bobby Sapphire up in Massachusetts is going to hear my scream. Yeah, whatever. Hopefully then he's playable. But no, I mean, obviously we're taking wild guesses at some of this stuff, but
of course.
The things that we have seen seem pretty cool so far. I think the artwork is tremendous so far. I think there's some absolute bangers. The weekly play Rancor is amazing, for example.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, that's all of the stuff on this article. We took way longer than I thought we were going to, which is totally awesome, but I'm thankful that you proposed the idea of splitting this into multiple parts, because otherwise that would be a heck of an editing job. It's still going to be a heck of an editing job. Well, I'm going to leave most of this unedited, but I do want to be able to go back and put pictures up whenever we talk about them. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to sit through this 2-hour recording. But that's my problem. That's a problem for future Mobius. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
No
I
problem,
hope you
man.
enjoyed
This was
it.
fun.
Yeah, I like hearing other people's predictions and stuff. This is a fun time to be a TCG player. And let us know in the comments some of the stuff that we talked about, what thoughts you guys had of different mechanics, or what some of these other card lines might be completed, or different cards that you'd like to see, or how badly you want an R2D2 leader. I'm sure we'd love to hear it. But that's going to be it for now. Again, thanks to the Porg, ObiWein and the Porg Depot. You can find a link to their stuff in the video description. And yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.